You're listening to the Listen Up Show, Startup Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm Mitchell Chadro, your host. Today on show 016, today we're here with Amira Idris. So we're so excited to be interviewing this young entrepreneur, founder of Vibrating Therapeutic Apparel, better known as VTA, born in Nigeria, went to the University of Delaware, involved with the Horn Program in entrepreneurship, majoring in biomedical engineering, minored in bioelectrical engineering, biomechanical engineering, a National Honor Society student there, and a magna cum laude student. Listen up, trusted friends. It's your business, it's your family, it's your life. Now let's get started. Please sign up to my email list for the latest special offers exclusive for our Listen Up Show Startup Entrepreneur Podcast audience at mitchellchadro.com/sign up. I have been providing business advice, resources, and help to entrepreneurs for over 20 years, and I'm looking forward to helping all of you. Sign up for my email list, again, at mitchellchadro.com/sign up. I will provide you with full transcript for each interview, my ebook, 30 Tools to Start Up, the Startup Checklist, and many other education and training materials, all back at mitchellchadro.com/sign up. Now enjoy the show. We're welcoming Amira Idris. So how are you, Amira?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. One of the fun facts that I actually read about you was, you've had all of these sports achievements, both in high school and also in college. I mean, long jumping, track and field. I mean, I even heard that you did golf for about a year. So, so that's really awesome. And on top of all that, you're really a true leader, and you're really an inspiration to other young entrepreneurs in the community. So tell us a little bit about your company. We're really fascinated by what you do and how you became inspired to start the company.
Well, it's a long story. So my company is called Vibrating Therapeutic Apparel, as you said earlier, also known as VTA. And what we are a company that integrates wearable technology and vibration therapy to create a line of apparel that helps increase blood and fluid circulation and tissue activity in the body. This company all started out with internship I did my junior year of college. It was called Clinical Immersion through the Biomedical Engineering Program, and I interned at Independence Prosthetic and Orthotics right here in Newark, Delaware. And in my internship, the goal of my internship was to look for unmet clinical needs in the clinic and try to create a solution to meet those needs. While interning there, I saw a lot of the amputees and patients that came in, and I found that a clinical need that wasn't really being met with the amputees was how they were managing their pain. I think what really inspired me to start this company and start my product line was one of the amputee that came in was an above-the-knee amputee. He came in a wheelchair. He was in a bad mood. He was sad. He was depressed. And he said he was having pains and problems with his residual limb. When the prosthetist had gone ahead and seen him and analyzed his legs, and they found out that he had actually not been taking care of his residual limb, when they asked him why, he said, "Why does it matter? In a few years, I'm going to get my other leg amputated anyways, or I'm going to die soon." And this really touched me because he's a 45-year-old above-knee amputee. So, if he's planning to live to 100, he hasn't even lived half of his life, just into my mind. And I was really touched and saddened that someone really felt that way. And I had asked the prosthetist, why would he say that? He said usually some amputees, after they lose their limb, they become depressed and they start to not really care much about, their life or about their health or taking care of themselves because they think they can never become normal again, which is never the case because as you know, there are a lot of amputees who are Paralympians and they're hiking and biking and doing all this triathlons and things. And so I wanted to find a solution to help amputees like him help keep his limb healthy. And that's how this whole thing started.
Our startup round. For all your hosting needs, head on over to mitchellchadro.com/hosting. mitchellchadro.com/hosting for all your web hosting needs. Who do you use to host this website? Listen up, because there are inspirations in terms of solutions to help people and things that you can do to start your own type of companies to come up with your own ideas. So that's actually what inspired you to want to basically come up with a solution to solve this particular issue. How do you take, as a young entrepreneur, how do you take such a large task such as coming up with this type of technology and sort of breaking it down into smaller pieces to sort of, come up with the actual solution that you need to sort of bring it to market? And I think it would be helpful to other people trying to come up with ideas in terms of what it takes to sort of, like I said, break it down and sort of be able to, move forward step by step to sort of make your solution come to market.
For me, it was more of a epiphany, if you would say. I honestly didn't really know where to start. I knew it was a problem I wanted to solve, and I've learned through my engineering and also some of the courses I took at UD, how to kind of brainstorm ideas. And the first thing I went to as an engineer myself is I decided to do some research online. I tried to figure out what was out there that could actually help amputees, such as this man I had spoken to. And I found that there really wasn't much. Most of the recommendations online was more like massage therapy to help keep the limb healthy and help with fluid circulation. I wanted to figure out a way to kind of incorporate that into something that the amputee can wear in the comfort of their own home. Because one thing I found out is that some amputees don't like others touching their residual limb, and they don't like sometimes going out of their way to make time to actually go meet a masseuse or someone else who has to touch the residual limb. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to create something they could wear. But while trying to figure out how can I incorporate massage into something they can wear, I honestly just kept looking. I was looking at my environment. As an athlete myself, I have to go to a lot of athletic trainers to massage me out after training. So I was trying to figure out what do they do? What activities do they do that I could implement for this amputee himself? So I was trying to take my experience and help him out. So I actually missed a lift workout for my track team, and I had to make it up. So when I went to the gym, the University of Delaware Big Bob had just gotten a vibrating platform that I have never seen. I didn't know what it was, but curious me was curious to see what it was. I didn't even know it was a vibrating platform. But when I touched it and I stood on there, I was like, wow, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And I think it was there and then it hit me. I was like,
more aha moments, more inspiration that basically came to you. It just felt right. And a lot of the new entrepreneurs out there, wondering what they can do or how they can actually go ahead and start a company. And like you said, I think there was definitely a value bomb in there for everyone to listen up to. And that is you said it best. You said you had this epiphany. It was almost kind of like an aha moment and you're also very curious, which I think is very good to have as an entrepreneur. There are things for people to do and for, solutions to come up with to help people. And it sounds like you're on the right track. So it's very, very exciting. Now, I mean, when you're building this type of technology, from what I understand, you actually have a patent pending technology on this vibrating therapeutic apparel product. So can you take us through that process? Because, I've been involved in patents and helping clients with patents, but for such a young entrepreneur, someone new to the business world, how do you sort of get that wherewithal to sort of start the process in filing for a patent? And, maybe talk to us a little bit about some of the resources that you've been able to sort of use and how you've been able to do that.
So for the patent process, this is all thanks to the entrepreneurship program in the University of Delaware, on the home program in entrepreneurship.
Okay.
I started doing a pitch competition that they have every fall and spring. And when I pitched my idea, some people had come up to me and said, "Amira, this is a brilliant idea. You should think about patenting it." And I was like, "Oh, okay, sure, yeah." But Dan Freeman actually came to me, and I told him he had heard about what I was doing, and I talked about how I didn't know where else to move from there, and I was thinking about patenting it. And he said, "Oh, you should talk to Jim Lennon from Young, Conway, Stargate and Taylor LLP. It's a law firm."
Yes,
And,
no, I'm very familiar with them. Sure.
So I contacted Jim Lennon, and he told me about the Widener pro bono patent program that he had. And he told me to check it out, and they could help me through the patent process pro bono. And I was so in awe that, there was actually that kind of opportunity, and he told me about that. And so it was all true, like networking and talking, and asking questions in the University of Delaware, and especially in the Horn Program Entrepreneurship, that I found out about this program. So I ended up applying for the program online. It's a very simple application, very simple form. And I got an email a few days later saying that, they saw the potential in my idea, and they were going to help me do the research to see if it was patentable. And so I had a lawyer for free, Greg, who helped me find out that my product was something that could actually be patented. So he helped me actually go through the process of putting in a provisional patent for it. So he's also from Young and Conway. So that whole law firm themselves has been very helpful throughout this process. And again, with the pro bono program with Widener, that's how I was able to get my patent pending.
We often are working so hard, setting our goals, trying to achieve and be all that we can be. You need a balance. For that, there's balance. Just go to mitchellchadro.com/balance and get 25% off the regular monthly price, which is only $2.50 per month. You see, I use balance every day to relax, stay calm, and focused, increase my energy, and to naturally feel good each and every day. And you can as well. Just go to mitchellchadro.com/balance. Yeah, we hear from a lot of new business ventures, business owners, people who are, currently employed and they want to make that transition to a business. And a lot of times they'll either say, gee, I don't have enough money or I don't have the resources. And it sounds as if, listening to you, you said, you asked some questions, one person putting you in contact with another. There were resources, obviously, right here at the Horn Program at the University of Delaware. Obviously, the law firm provides these resources. I know through my website, mitchellchadro.com, that I provide free resources that are premium, all for free. And so just by kind of looking around and being curious, you can actually find these resources. I know that we interviewed the dean of the Drexel University Close School of Entrepreneurship, and they talked to us all about the resources that they provide to their students. What other resources does the University of Delaware's Horn Program provide to you, and how has that been helpful to you in sort of, not only with the patent, but with other aspects of the business as well?
So the entrepreneurship program, the Horn Program Entrepreneurship, has helped me a lot with networking. I've been able to attend a lot of networking events where I got to meet other entrepreneurs who have been very successful in Delaware and in Philadelphia, and just be able to rub shoulders with them and speak to them about, their accomplishments and how they got to where they were, and be able to pitch my idea. So the great thing that the Horn Program Entrepreneurship at the University of Delaware does is they put you in that environment where you're able to talk to other successful entrepreneurs about what you're doing and try to network and connect with them. And they always promote all about networking and, going to ask questions and putting us in events where we're able to, as I said, rub shoulders with these entrepreneurs who are able to put us to the next level. And I found that to be very helpful and very inspiring. Even if I'm not able to get an investor for my business, I'm able to meet someone else who has been successful that could give me some advice and tips and feedback on my business because they've been down this road already. And the Horn Program does a very great job with that. Also,
you mentioned the pitch competitions, and you also mentioned investors. And interestingly enough, in our last show, where people can listen up at mitchellchadro.com/show015, we actually talk about crowdfunding and crowdsourcing. And one of the aspects of crowdfunding is that you're actually, looking for non-accredited investors as opposed to venture capitalists or angel investors or the big banks. So maybe tell us a little bit about some of these pitch competitions. And obviously, it sounds as if you've won some grants. So obviously, that's a benefit of the pitch competition. But how has it helped you in planning to raise these funds from non-accredited investors through, doing possibly a crowdfunding?
For this pitch competitions, it's not actually a crowdfunding, but it's given me the yes, Amira, your idea is valid. Yes, there's potential for it. And here's the resources to go ahead and prototype and test to see if it's something that can actually become a business in the future. So with the pitch competition, with the HORN program, they have their spring and fall pitch competitions. I have participated in twice. The second time I got a grant for $750 to prototype and work on my idea with the HORN program and get mentoring with their staff that they had there. And also they have another program called Venture On, which again, they give you small funds to be able to prototype and, work with other aspiring entrepreneurs in the building that they have to be able to feedback ideas and prototype. And also, they also have something called the hen hatch competition. So the thing with the HORN program is they have a lot of competitions where aspiring entrepreneurs or people with just ideas can come and just pitch to a large group of people with some type of money prize that they could win. So it's kind of encouraging students to, no matter what your idea is, no matter what your venture is, come out and tell us about it, and you get a chance to win money, and also you get a chance. You expose yourself and your business to other successful entrepreneurs who, even if you don't win, always come and speak to you and tell you about say how great your idea is and what they can do to help you. So in the end, everyone is a winner, so you're not just getting money, you're also getting feedback and advice and business cards of these successful entrepreneurs.
To get your special free gift exclusive to my podcast listeners, giving away for free educational materials, estate planning template forms, a will, power of attorney, living will, and trust documents. Whether it helps empower you to start your own estate plan for you and your family, or empowers you to speak with your own attorney or accounting professionals, it is a wonderful free resource, and I'm providing it to all of my listeners who subscribe for free today at mitchellchadro.com/sign up. So if you're looking for a preferred provider for legal or trust services, at mitchellchadro.com/sign up. It's interesting. It just dawned on me as you are doing these pitch competitions and as you're networking and meeting more and more people, the flip side, of course, of doing crowdfunding is also crowdsourcing. And so talking about your own strengths and your own weaknesses and working with others, in terms of crowdsourcing and meeting people and partnering with others to complement your own strengths. So you can't do everything. So for example, you're taking this big giant solution and trying to come up with ready to market. What have you really done to sort of not only do your business plan, but also work up your cash flows and how are you going to actually do sales and how are you going to sort of distribute? Have you thought about this? Have you built this up? And have you considered crowdsourcing in terms of partnering with other people that might have some of these strengths to complement your own strength?
So I'm currently in the process of thinking about some of these things you've mentioned. So my company is a startup, which if you know the definition of a startup, it's a company working to solve a problem where the solution is not obvious and success is not guaranteed. So I'm trying to see if my company has a repeatable and scalable business model. That's the process where I am in right now. So I have a business model that business model canvas of some sort that I'm able to kind of analyze and start doing my customer discovery before I go ahead and start looking into actually how I'm going to make money.
Today's show also sponsored by banksmarter.com. For alternatives to the big banks and the traditional ways of banking, all you got to do is go over to banksmarter.com. We talk to a lot of business owners and a lot of entrepreneurs they're setting up their own websites and they're doing a lot of A/B testing to see how they can sort of bring traffic, whether it be to their sites. We've talked to people who obviously do content marketing and digital marketing and talk to them about strategies about bringing sales or revenue into the door. Maybe talk to us a little bit about some of your struggles that you've found. And I think by talking about the struggles and maybe even some of your failures through these steps, I think that it will actually help other people And then on the flip side of that, we'll talk certainly about some of your successes to date on your current venture.
I have to say, some of my struggles that I have had are just building a team. So when I initially had this idea till just recently, my team composed of just me. So I was the jack of all trades for my company. I was the engineer trying to prototype. I was the coder. I was the builder. I was doing everything. And that actually started taking a toll on me. And then I knew it's time for me to start building a team. So the current challenges I'm facing right now is finding a team that is as excited about my company as I am, excited about what I'm trying to do, excited about helping people, excited about wearable technology, excited about vibration therapy and implementing that with wearable tech. So that's some of the challenges I've had so far, trying to find people who are just as passionate as I am, because, I want to have people in my team who actually love what they're doing, and not just doing it just for the sake of making money or just doing it just because they need something to keep them busy. I need people who really, again, as I said, are passionate about what I'm doing. So those are one of the challenges I have faced. Also with raising money, obviously is a problem and a challenge that I have right now. So in order for me to raise money, I feel like I have to first prove that what I have is worth funding. I've learned about Kickstarter and crowdsourcing, as you said, and trying to create a website right now that would be able to help me kind of raise funds. So through the Horn Program Entrepreneurship, I'm learning about the different ways I can go about raising money and raising funds that can help, again, with the prototyping and building my business. So again, what few challenges is, again, trying to raise money in itself is also one of the big challenges for me.
If you were looking to incorporate your business, start a business, an LLC, an S corporation, a C corporation, or a nonprofit, head on over to mitchellchadro.com/INC. So that's mitchellchadro.com/Inc. As far as then your successes to date, can you talk to us a little bit about some of the things that are working for you, and maybe some words that will help inspire others to sort of get moving in the right direction?
Yeah, some of the things that have been working for me is that I'm learning a lot through this whole process. So I've learned that sometimes when things don't go your way, you should always look at that as an opportunity. So for initially when I started out with this company itself, I thought that I was solving a specific problem. But throughout the process of speaking to amputees and speaking to potential end users of my product, I have found out that it's actually a larger problem that my product could solve, not just the problem I thought I was solving. So being able to iterate, and change and learn, use that as a growing process, not as a failure, it's has been a very big success for me, because that's how I've gotten as far as I have today, is that I'm willing to learn and willing to change. Because again, I'm not a very large Fortune 500 company. I'm a small business, small startup. That means I have room to grow and room to change and pivot if I have to. So I've been very successful with that, with, being able to adapt and change depending on the feedback I've received from customers.
Which I think is great wisdom that others are basically hearing, from you. As far as additional resources that you feel that would be helpful to you, whether it be coming directly from, the UD Horn program, or, through the law firm that's obviously currently helping you with your patent, what other types of resources or things would be helpful to you as a startup, trying to sort of bring your product to market? I mean, obviously we've talked about crowdfunding, we've talked about crowdsourcing, but what other things would you find to be helpful, to help you in those endeavors?
So currently I'm also seeking advisors and mentors, people who've been down the road, similar area that I am in right now. They're able to tell me, what are some things I should look out for, because, it's better not to reinvent the wheel with those mistakes that they've had, but being able to learn from what the mistake they've had, so I don't end up making those same mistakes. So currently I'm seeking mentors who can help me throughout this whole process.
TrustSmarter.com. For all of your personal relationship, good content, and free premium resources, head on over to TrustSmarter.com. In terms of other resources or things that you would find to be in addition to the legal help for your patents or helping you with a website, what other, and obviously those helping you with the prototypes and that sort of thing, what other resources would you find to be most helpful to you with this startup right now?
So other resources I've been looking into are also grants. So governmental grants, such as the SBIR, NIH, any type of grants that I could apply for are also like resources I'm looking into for the future. Because with grants, the government that gives you the grant, they don't take any kind of equity from your company. They're just trying to help you so you're able to bring this product out to help others. So I'm trying to look into grants, incubators, and other type of like funding that's out there, and not just angel investors and VCs, something else. So those are some of the resources that will be very helpful for me in the future.
Yeah, we've talked to some of our guests. I remember talking to Susan Matthews in my show number 5, so that's at mitchellchadro.com/005. And we were joking that, she really needed to go and sort of do a business plan. And I've also talked to other guests who say that although a business plan is very important, the cash flow plan and how you're going to bring sales in is probably more important. And of course, I know that this is a startup. So who's actually helping you with really the sales, distribution channels, thinking down the road to the cash flow, where your markets are going to be? Have you started to think about some of those things? And maybe you can sort of walk us through some of that in terms of what you're currently doing in thinking about that for the future.
Yeah, so I have been thinking about that a lot. But currently, as I said, I've been more working on customer discovery and how my product can actually help the end users of my product. But I am currently also in a program, the Horn Program in Entrepreneurship called Summer Founders. And basically what the program is we're searching for a repeatable, scalable business model. And our director for the program himself, Vincent DeFelice, has been very helpful in pushing me in the right direction and helping me think about also like the marketing aspect of everything. And they have faculties in the Horn Program that are very helpful with that, like John Curry, that are helpful in helping me think about the marketing, because I don't have a strong background in business. I don't have an MBA. I have a Master's of Science in Entrepreneurship and Design. So a lot of like the cash flow, I don't really have a strong background in that. And the Horn Program has been very helpful in helping me think about that, because I don't really tend to think about that all the time. So I've been using them as a resource, and they've been putting me in the right direction, connecting me with the right people.
And that's why I also mentioned the crowdsourcing, because where you have your strengths, the crowd, so to speak, has their own strengths, and you can rely on them for things that they know how to do, like cash flow projections, like helping you with sales and distribution and various different modeling from a financial perspective. Our fast pitch, mitchellchadro.com/books for books, audio books, guest recommendations, and the books that I read to start up each day. Sponsors our fast pitch, my book club recommendations, back at mitchellchadro.com/books. To see more of my recommendations and recommendations of our guests, just go to mitchellchadro.com/books. It's your number one resource for book reviews and recommendations. So these are really quick questions, things that maybe just pop into your head, just to kind of be helpful to others. The best business advice that you've ever received?
The best business advice, I have to say that it's do what you love and the rest will follow. I've heard that a lot, not just for business, but just in life in itself. My parents have told me that a lot. My professors, when I came to college, said the same thing. Find what you love and do it, and the rest will follow. And that's kind of been my mantra, in a sense.
Sure.
That's what I follow. That's how I live my life in business.
Yeah, no, that's really wonderful. It says a lot about you, too. As far as a business book, something that you've read, that you've really enjoyed, that's inspired you, that's motivated you?
So I just started getting into business books. I didn't really know much about business books until I did my master's in entrepreneurship and design. Just graduated this spring, and I just started reading the business book, so I can't really say much about it yet. But I guess one of the books that I really enjoyed reading so far is called Traction by Gabriel Weinberg and Justin Morris. And basically, one thing I really liked about the book was, I think when I opened it, when it gives the summary of the book, it says most startups don't fail because they can't build a product. Most startups fail because they can't get traction. So he talks about how important traction is and how important it is to consistently grow and acquire new customers. And I think this is a really great book for me to read, especially starting out as a startup, doing my first startup. So that's
I think that's terrific. And as a matter of fact, the reason why I partnered actually with Audible, which is actually an Amazon.com company, is because our guests come on and they recommend a lot of really good books. And you would be very surprised, the entrepreneurs out there, the people that are on the fence, that sort of, they're whether, they could do it or not. These business books really can motivate them, like you said, to sort of build that traction. So for anybody who wants to actually pick up that book, at mitchellchadro.com/audible, they're going to get a 30-day free trial and they're going to get one free download. So you can actually download that book on Audible for free. How about an app that you use, whether it helps you in business or family or in life, something that resonates with you and you find that it continually helps you?
I have to say my calendar.
Okay.
My calendar on my iPhone, I think, is an app that's been very helpful to me throughout my college career, and especially now with my business, is that I able to put everything in there and sync everything together and not have to worry about forgetting something. I think that's... Is there one in particular that you recommend in terms of the actual app itself? For example, we had Mike Templeman on back on show 13, so that's actually over at mitchellchadro.com/show013, and he actually recommended, Google Calendar, and since that time, I've actually begun using Google Calendar every single day since he recommended it. So, it's interesting how the Trusted Friends community out there is influenced by some of the recommendations that you have. And actually, this entire transcript, anybody who actually subscribes back at mitchellchadro.com could actually get a full transcript of the show today just by subscribing. So we're going to have actually all links and everything, back at the website. So that's why I asked, if you actually have a favorite calendar. He actually happened to mention the Google Calendar, but I didn't know if you had a specific one in mind. The calendar I have on my phone that comes with the iPhone is the only calendar I use, and it does sync with my Google Calendar. When I make appointments, because of my emails are all in there. So it's not specifically Google Calendar, but it syncs with it, and it's perfect.
Sure. How about a quote or a mantra that you use to inspire you, to motivate you, and it probably would motivate and inspire others as well?
This is a actual quote I actually have in the back of my business card. It just takes up the whole back of my business card. It's by Neil deGrasse Tyson. And basically, he says everyone should have their mind blown at least once a day. And that's it. And that's my life. Always try to look for new things, to experience. Try to find something new. Observe your environment. Try to just blow your mind each day. And that has to be my favorite quote of all time.
Sure. No, that's terrific. I was going to ask you about a fun fact about yourself that maybe others really don't know about. And I know that earlier I had mentioned how you were an indoor track and field star. I mean, you've got school records. I read all of your high school records and all of your college performance records for the triple jump and for everything. I'm just so over the top impressed with your achievements there, and everybody's really going to enjoy this show because you have so much offering to other people to inspire others. It's not easy bringing this type of product to market, and the fact that you have a patent pending and you've done so much already is truly inspirational, not only to me, but everybody that's listening to the show. So maybe like a fun fact, something about you that maybe you don't really tell a whole lot of people, but something interesting about you.
I guess an interesting fact was that my senior year of college, I co-founded a student organization called Orthotics and Prosthetics Club, which was inspired again by my internship at Independence Prosthetic and Orthotics. Basically, the idea was to educate people on campus and members about orthotics and prosthetics field. So ONP, that's a fun fact.
It sure is. I liked it. It was fun for me. I'm sure it was for everybody else. Our wrap-up round, mitchellchadro.com/photos for all your graphic design need. For our next interview, show 017, yep, that's right, it's going to be Chris Lynn. He's the inventor of Flip Wallet, and now you know Chris as going to the University of Delaware at the university there and the Horn program. And, of course, Amira, you know him as being a fierce competitor of yours on those pitch competitions that we talked about earlier. So we're really looking forward to show 017. The University of Delaware Horn program is really helping many young and new entrepreneurs. So, Amira Idris, we want to thank you lots. This has really been a blast, and we really enjoyed this. Now, can you give us some parting words and maybe how people can stay in contact with you so that we can keep tabs on your startup moving to the next phase and how your company is progressing to the market with this most wonderful product?
Oh, of course. So we currently don't have a website launched yet, but we plan to launch one sometimes in July, mid-July. And, the website is going to be wearvta.com. So look out for that. You could also stay in contact with me through my LinkedIn page. So if you type in Amira Idris on LinkedIn, you should be able to find me, or through my email at aidris1@yahoo.com. And for my parting words, it would have to be that don't be afraid to take a risk. Don't be afraid to follow what you love or pursue what you love and just do it. Just do it. The Nike saying in itself is a very strong 3 words. Just go ahead, take the risk, because you never know how everything's going to turn out.
Listen up, trusted friends. There's a lot of value bombs in what Amira just said. Amira, this has been so wonderful. We're so thankful that you had the opportunity to come on to the show. I know that you're going to really motivate and inspire so many young entrepreneurs and people out there that are looking to obviously start up. So thank you again. We're really looking forward to hearing, your progress that you're making, and all the links from everything that we talked about today will be back at the website. Thank you again, and you take care of yourself.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Take care now. Bye-bye. In closing, let me ask for my listeners' help. First, please subscribe to my email list at mitchellchadro.com/signup. You will get all the full interview transcripts, my ebook, 30 Tools to Start Up, where I talk about these free resources in show 006. You'll get the startup checklist, education and training materials, and other resources just by signing up at mitchellchadro.com/signup. For a full transcript of today's interview, free premium resources like LLC, S Corporation template forms to get your business started, all for free. And all you have to do is go over to mitchellchadro.com and subscribe. We're also going to provide a free will, power of attorney, living will, and trust template forms, all for you, our trusted friends, our community here on mitchellchadro.com, the Listen Up podcast. You have to know that there are numerous ways that you can actually listen to the podcast here. And for all of those ways, you just want to head on over to mitchellchadro.com/signup. Listen up, trusted friends. It's your business, it's your family, it's your life. Go out and live it. Back at mitchellchadro.com/signup, help me boost the rankings of the Listen Up Show, the Startup Entrepreneur Podcast, by providing a well-written review in iTunes. mitchellchadro.com/iTunes. It helps other people find the show. If you actually need instructions on how to do this, you can find that back at mitchellchadro.com/signup. Thank you so much for subscribing to my email list and providing a written review on iTunes. Until next time.